Hey guys, so today I just want to go through how I do educational playtime with my 3-month-old. We're kind of just now getting to that age where she is starting to play. Before 3 months, she didn't really do a lot of playing. She just kind of slept and ate, and honestly I wasn't really expecting that, at least for her. She wasn't really interested in any toys or playing very much at all until about this age. So I am gonna actually show you guys our play routine, how I do tummy time with her, how I do like a structured playtime with her, and I want to show you all the things that we use right now so that if you're having a baby you can know what kind of toys that they might play with at the very beginning. You know what to kind of stock up on, I guess. And I will say we don't have a lot of toys for her. I'll show you literally everything we have. So I guess first I just want to start with the actual toys that we have that she enjoys playing with, and kind of things that I keep my eye out for when I go shopping or when I feel like it'd be nice to have a couple more toys for her. Starting with the things that you're going to see in these upcoming clips, I have these kind of colored pieces of fabric. These are from Amazon, and I'll show you guys how I get her to play with these. And actually I got this idea from another YouTuber, Milena Ciciotti. I'll have her YouTube channel linked in the description. But it comes with a bunch of different colors. This specific one I got from Amazon has 2 of every color. So she plays with those a lot. Those are not independent play, they're interactive, or at least the way I use them. The other interactive thing you guys will see me use with her a lot is a mirror. So I have this mirror, and it was from like the Target dollar spot, and it's really small. I use this in a couple different ways, which you will see in the coming clips. It helps her to gain awareness of what she's doing, and she's able to see if she drops something. Most babies are not self-aware until around 6 months, but the more you get them in front of a mirror, the quicker they can become self-aware. So at this point, if she looks at herself in the mirror, she is going to assume that is a different person. She's not going to understand that she's looking at her reflection. It's not until about 6 months that babies will even start to get an inkling of like, oh wait, they move when I move, and when I drop something, I can see myself doing that. So the mirror is just supposed to kind of help build that, and also kind of gives her another way of exploring and sensing the world around her through her sight. So that's really all the interactive things I have for her, but I do intend to get more in the future, more type of sensory things. The next things are things that she uses for individual play. So again, you'll see in the upcoming clips exactly how I use these with her, but I want to just kind of show you the things that I look out for her. So she has a few rattles, which I don't know where one of them is right now, but she has this one. It's a unicorn that she got for Christmas from her grandparents. It's made out of cloth, so this might be good for quieter settings, but right now it's a little bit too big for her to hold on to, so she's not using this one too much yet. Another rattle that I love was gifted to her from her aunt. This specific one is from Magnolia and Taylor, and it just kind of has a couple rings on it, which is what makes the noise. So this one is not super loud either, and it's completely made out of wood. It's small, it's really skinny, so she's able to grasp onto this one. So she is starting to play with this one. She also really likes this maraca, which is just a Fisher-Price maraca rattle thing. It has this soft side, which I usually put up kind of closer to her head, so she hits herself, it's with the soft one. This one is skinny enough here that she can hold on to it. So she actually is doing a lot better with this one than I thought she would, but she does enjoy this rattle as well. The other one is one of those, it's like a open hexagonal shape, so it's really easy for her to get her fingers in there, and it's really lightweight. It doesn't make very much noise at all. I'll have to find that and see if I can insert a picture of it or something so you guys can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. I don't know where that one is right now. Other things we look for her are teethers. She's not teething yet, obviously, but this is like the only rubbery, squishy, plasticky types of toys she has most of the time, so it does allow for a different feeling, which is another sensory a tactile sensory difference in what she's playing with. This one was one I think I used to play with when I was young, and it has on each finger, it has a different texture and it has bumps on it and stuff. So that one's cool for her because it does allow for a lot of textile variety. I don't really know why it matters to have that on a teether, like if that would feel good on her gums or not. She hasn't really taken to these very well yet. Let her try this giraffe one the most often, and even though it's small and skinny and lots of different places to hold on to, she doesn't actually hold on to this one very much. And this one's filled with water. It has little raised Mickey heads all over, so again, a tactile difference for her. I would assume this is like kind of where she can hold on to it when her hands get a little bit bigger, but again, she hasn't really shown a lot of interest in her teethers yet, which is fine. The other teether we have for her are her rings, or her keys, and each one of them has a little bit different tactile spot on it, I guess. This is really easy for her to get her fingers around, and she can hold it against her body, but as soon as she tries to like lift it away from her body, it's too heavy for her, I think, because she just drops it. So I will talk more about this in a minute, but that's the other teether we have for her. This is 2 out of 3 of her cloth toys that are small enough for her to play with. So this is baby paper. It is not only soft to the touch and kind of a high contrast pattern, but it also is an auditory sense, stimulates her auditory senses. So I'll just let you listen. She loves that. She loves this paper. This is probably what she plays with the most. She also has a book, like one of those really soft books that she can crinkle. I don't know where that is either. It's probably in her diaper bag, but I may show you guys that as well. But she loves that. This is kind of the same thing. The elephant has crinkly ears, and it has a thing for her to hold on to. She doesn't prefer this one as much. I can't really get her to hold on to it. And then she has one of those little bunnies, which you'll actually see in a different clip. It's just like a little piece of fabric with a bunny head at the top, and the bunny doesn't have any face or anything. It's just a head with ears and like a piece of cloth for a body. But she loves that thing. She loves anything that she can she's always grabbing onto her shirt. So she loves any toys that allow her to like grab on, move it around. She has made so much progress with that in a couple weeks. Like a few weeks ago, she didn't do any of that, but now, as you'll see, she sits up, she moves things around, she plays with things. She hasn't started transferring from hand to hand yet, but she's like almost there. She will grab onto it with both hands and like let go with one, and then grab on and let go with the other. So it's almost like a transferring, but it's more just like one hand forgets to hold on. Oh, the other cloth toy, I almost forgot. Along with the elephant and the paper, I have a loofah for her. You may be thinking, that's not really a toy. You're right, it's not, but she actually loves this thing. It's probably her second favorite toy aside from the baby paper. This has so much for her to grab onto, and even if she drops it and like her hand is kind of right there still, it's super easy for her to grab back onto this. And it has like a different feeling, a different texture. She can pull it, she can squish it, like, I don't know, it's just different. It stimulates her differently. This is the one that she's best with transferring between hands. So I would definitely recommend things like this as well. I know that's weird. This has obviously never been used like in the shower, but just get creative and like think about what your kid likes or what will help your kid be able to feel new textures or work on different fine motor skills, being able to transfer from hand to hand is really important for babies this young. So she does play with a loofah. So that is basically all of her toys. You saw literally every toy she has except for 2, and even some of these toys she's not really playing with yet. She just hasn't shown a lot of interest in. But we also have books for her. We have a couple different types of books that I would recommend. There's really high contrast books. These are really great for newborns, and I do mean newborns. We started reading to her as soon as we got her home from the hospital. Personally, I loved reading to her while she was eating. It was one of the only times that she was awake and attentive enough to look at a book. So we have those high contrast ones. We also have regular picture books. We mostly use the board books at this point in time, although we have read other ones that aren't board books. Most of the books we have for her are actually right back behind me here, but we also have a sizable stack, probably about half of the amount of what I have here on this thing behind me. About half of that amount we have downstairs. And the book I just showed you, this one right here, along with the keys, we have in our room where we feed her, so that if we want to read a book to her while she's eating, we have this one. And actually we have a couple more books in there right now as well. And we do have the one toy, so if we are just in there and she's done eating but she's still awake, she can kind of play in the meantime before she falls back asleep. So those are basically all my tips. The books, the different types of toys. I didn't necessarily specifically point this out, but basically we have rattles, teethers, and cloth toys. We try to think of things that will stimulate her touch, her auditory and visual learning as well. And we try to stick to materials of like cloth or wood, things like that at this point. A little bit of plastic or rubbery things, but mostly cloth and wood. So I will go ahead and show you our play routine in the next couple clips. So this is her structured tummy time that we try to do at least once a day or twice a day. And we do that to help strengthen her muscles and give her a level of independence. Right now we have her on this mat from Beyond Play, and you can actually see the other mat we use in the background of this clip. It's that turtle baby gym. We'll use that one as well. But when I go to put her in tummy time, I always stand her up, sit her down, and then lay her back so that she can get used to that natural motion of doing things. And then I roll her from her hips when she's going from her back to her belly. When she's going from her belly to her back, if she doesn't roll over on her own, I use her shoulders to roll her back over onto her back. But I really like using this mat right now because of the high contrast pictures, and it does have some interactive play materials as well. But as far as tummy time goes, we basically let her lay there until she indicates to us that she does not want to be on her stomach anymore. The goal is to make the experience as positive as possible. So as soon as it starts to become negative, we roll her back over and pick her up. If she rolls over on her own, we try to do positive reinforcement with that by saying yay and giving her hugs and clapping. Part of tummy time, we also roll her onto her side. This helps to strengthen different muscles, and I also hope to try to get her to interact with a toy on her own, but she hasn't taken too much interest in that yet. So this is the play that she does with her toys. So I'll show her the mirror and set it up so that she can watch herself play to hopefully engage some of that visual stimulation. And I will try to give her different toys, so a cloth toy, a teether, a rattle, and I just put them on her chest where she can reach them, and she chooses to grab onto them, to play with them. She often will bring them up to her face, rub them on her face, bringing them up to her mouth, put them in her mouth, and I'm okay with all of that stuff. Again, that's really good tactile stimulation. She often drops them. If she drops them once, I might give it back to her, but after she drops it a couple times, I think she's pretty much done with that toy and I give her a new one. But I try to explain to her what she's playing with, what she's feeling, what she's seeing. I tell her, and right now I'm telling her, that's Rosie when she's looking in the mirror. I tell her that's yellow when I show her this cloth. I explain the movement to her, how it feels, so she can start to kind of put certain words with certain actions or feelings. This section here is actually our interactive play, obviously. So she's kind of passively learning while I'm doing things with her. I'm reading to her, I'm moving the cloths for her, I'm showing her herself in the mirror. And obviously that's just because of how young she is, and the play at this point has to be passive, but she does really engage in the reading. She is really interested in it. Again, I try to use a lot of positive language. When we finish a book, I will clap, I'll say, yay, good job, that was fun. I try to associate learning with positive things. So I had to include these clips as well. This is when we put her down for independent play, just randomly throughout the day in the unstructured setting. And she will play with her blanket and bring it up to her face and put it over her face. And obviously that feels a little unsafe. So I give her this little cloth toy and she loves to put it on her mouth, on her face. It has a little rattle inside so she can hear it. And this really helps work on her fine motor skills as well, but it's just one more opportunity to get that stimulation in for her. So I try to do things like this all the time as well. So that is all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you some ideas of how you can play with your small babies, or some toys that would be really great for small babies. And I will see you guys in the next one.